What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back here with another video, and today I wanted to be a bit judgmental. We'll see honestly if that actually comes to fruition. But today I just want to do a little bit of a judge the mock. Wasn't really in the mood to do an actual mock myself today. These are just kind of more fun to just see how other people are doing stuff, see if I like any new fits. Obviously, you guys know the program. We've been doing this quite a bit. If you guys do have other video suggestions, do let me know because I've been thinking about doing some other video types. It's just been a little bit crunch time thanks to Texas's snow week, pushing back all the work to this week. So this coming week's my birthday week. Again, might be a little bit not available for doing new types of content just because it requires a bit more time and want to take a little time to myself during my birthday week. Although content will be still coming every day. But of course, leave that down in the description. And then, of course, we're going to have our fan mock coming in about 2 weeks from now. So definitely keep your ears posted for that. And if you guys want to join the Discord, still deciding on exactly how we're going to do this. I'm thinking maybe we can do a boardroom type scenario. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see how it goes, but I want to get into this. This is a 3-rounder, so just beware. This is going to be quite fun, and I'm excited to see how TDN deals with all this stuff because I heard that they have Baron Browning above Zaven Collins as well as Nick Bolton. So that's a little bit surprising to me. We'll see what happens. All right. So starting off with number 1 pick, we don't need to talk about this. It's Trevor Lawrence. It's just been, it's just been known forever. So there's no reason for it. There is also no reason for my hair to be getting in my eyeball. So bear with me as that goes on. Next, Jets getting Zach Wilson. It's again, it honestly just depends on what. Oh yeah, there you go. Baron Browning, linebacker 3. It just depends on what Saleh wants to do. If you want to get weapons and stuff, but again, I'll reemphasize this. You have a lot of picks, man. Why do you need to get more? Sometimes it's a little bit oversaturation. This roster doesn't have as many holes as people think. They're just big enough holes to where they make an impact. And one of those holes is quarterback, in my opinion. You can definitely get one more weapon. You can definitely get maybe a couple more linemen. There are some pieces that are in need of filling, but this team is a lot better than what people think. And I think Zach Wilson could be able to, even if they don't trade for him, they could definitely just sit in that situation and use the picks that they already have because they got 2 of them from Seattle, and they'll be perfectly fine. Especially if Seattle trades away Russell Wilson, that next year pick could be a very high-end pick. So I honestly don't like the idea of going like a Kyle Pitts here and then being like, or trade back and then get more picks. It's like you have enough picks as it is. Honestly, just take what you get, run with it, and enjoy it. Next with the Panthers, you got Justin Fields. So the Dolphins get a 1, a 2, a next year 1, and a 5th. Not bad because Justin Fields definitely has the potential to be an amazing quarterback. And here, obviously, there is enough potential with Justin to be able to sit behind Teddy Bridgewater. Again, I think Justin can, unlike Trey Lance, who probably needs a little bit more time to grow into himself. I think that Justin Fields can deal with an OC change from Joe Brady to somebody else. So I think that Justin Fields is a little bit more scheme independent, and this is probably the best fit for him. I'm starting to not like the idea of Panthers trading up for a quarterback just because, honestly, I think next year's quarterback class is perfectly fine. And I think Justin Fields in 1 year is going to be just as good as another one. And again, people are saying, oh, the mediocrity. It's like, I understand that. I understand that a lot. But, Justin Fields can put you over the top. I'll give you that. He can definitely put you over the top. So I'm not going to shame the pick. But it's just, you're going to be mediocre again with Justin Fields growing. And then I don't know. It's like at the end of the year, I do understand. This is something that actually hit me from the interview with Jamie Roots is at the end of the year, 31 teams come away disappointed. So if you suck, you might be happier at the end of the year because you get a good guy in the draft, right? So there's definitely some things that mediocrity has promise with. Next, the Falcons getting Sewell here, and don't mind this. It's just kind of best player available. And for the Falcons, it's like, yeah, you guys do have Jake Matthews, Caleb McGarry. Okay, that's fine. Honestly, that's not bad. But again, honestly, if we are doing trades, this is a good spot to trade down, man. Honestly, you can get a lot of draft capital that way from a team that's probably not going to be as good. Again, there's a lot of teams trying to vie for Trey Lance. And then this is a great spot for a team like the Lions to trade up. I know I have one person on here who said they'd be like wanting to die if the Lions traded up, but this is a great spot for the Lions to be like, dude, we have a lot of draft capital. We have a lot of holes, but this won't be that big of a jump because probably the Falcons could get a high-end player right over here. And then, oh my God. But then they can also get their star number one wide receiver. Just saying. But next, the Bengals getting Jamar Chase. Perfectly fine with that. Eagles getting Devontae Smith. Again, they have a lot of guys on roster. I think there's honestly a bigger need if you get the Kyle Pitts to me is if Jamar's off the board, there's 0 picks in my mind besides Devontae. I mean, not Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts. Even if Devontae Smith's on the board, I don't like it. I think you got to go Kyle Pitts here. Excellent fit, and there's a reason why they brought on the OC. Was it Dan? I'm not sure. They brought on the OC from Florida as a quarterback's coach because he's eventually going to be the OC. So just big fan of being able to get Kyle Pitts there, not Devontae Smith. Niners moving up to acquire Trey Lance. I mean, I like that it's not at pick 4 or pick 3, but I mean, again, there's so many holes. I talk to your head scout all the time. It's like, dude, we have a hole at left tackle. I got a hole, I believe, at right guard. Weston Richburg isn't the greatest, and he just restructured his contract, so good thing for him. But it's like you potentially have a hole at quarterback, but you don't actually have it yet until you do this, where it's like Trey Lance ain't ready, man. And it's like they seem to be poised to move on from Jimmy G. It's like, dude, why? He brought you to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Or no, literally what, 13 months ago you were in the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. He was injured. He has an injury problem. That's understandable. But look at the draft capital you just gave up. You guys are probably going to be losing Trent Williams. That's a pretty foregone conclusion, especially in the 49ers organization. You guys have plenty of draft capital. If you guys want to get Rashawn Slater at this pick, obviously the draft capital is not worth it. But wouldn't mind that nearly as much as getting Trey Lance, who's not ready. Again, people like this idea of Shanahan with a guy like Trey Lance. It's like, dude, when has Shanahan, I mean, you guys, I think that he has dealt with a mobile quarterback, but I would like you guys to remind me on who that would be and if he was successful with it. Because the guys he's had success with are Matt Ryan and Jimmy G. Those are the two guys who went to the Super Bowl. So I really don't understand why people think that Trey Lance is a perfect lock. They need a guy. I mean, Trey Lance looked great as pro day, definitely. But it's like the problems were still there at the pro day. You're supposed to look the best. That's your best version of yourself. No pressure. He actually fucked up on the one play that they put fake pressure on him. So a little bit worrisome about that. But honestly, I think that was just a fluke play. You know, I'm a Trey Lance non-supporter, not a Trey Lance hater. I still see the potential and I understand why you'd pick him, but again, I think people are a little bit too high on him. Dolphins getting Jalen Waddle at this pick. This is okay. You know, I wouldn't mind this. Jalen Waddle's a stud. So I really wouldn't mind it, especially if you get another first round pick out of it. There is still Rashawn Slater here, who I'm definitely gaining positivity thinking about, like potentially taking Rashawn Slater here, even over Jalen Waddle. Even though I love Jalen Waddle. Wouldn't shame the Dolphins for doing this. Again, now you're not taking it at number 3. And I think Jalen Waddle's better than Smith. So, I mean, I'm just a huge, huge fan of Jalen Waddle's talent. So, again, Rashawn Slater had 33-inch arms, which is perfect size for an NFL tackle, just on the brink of having to go guard. But I think that he'll be perfectly fine if you use him as a left tackle, kick Austin Jackson to right tackle, or you can even use him as the guard. But I really think that you can go Slater here if you really want to, or trade down again. You know, there are teams that would probably want to move up for somebody like Jalen Waddle or something like that. I don't know. The Dolphins are pretty poised, so I guess they don't need to, but I really think the offensive line's a big issue. And if you get another first out of it, to be honest, I'm okay with this, but I really think you need to get to a good offensive line. Next, with the Broncos, you're getting Caleb Farley here out of VT. You know, you guys know me. I like the pick. Dig it. Cowboys, Surtain. Again, you got to get good safety coverage because these guys aren't very fast, but I'm perfectly fine with that dynamic duo. My hair is really pissing me off. I think, honestly, JC Horn's starting to become a better option, especially since he ran in the low 4.4s. I think it was like a 4.41. So, again, a little bit concerning to me with Surtain's speed, but, dude, his tape is great. He has a really, really solid tape. Giants getting Pitts, that would be a great steal because, again, you don't even know if Evan Ingram's going to be there. I don't know. I mean, I honestly think the Dolphins could damn went like Kyle Pitts there and just stuck him as like an inline tight end. But Kyle Pitts is just such a beast. I just can't see him falling to 11. Lions getting Micah. They're with their trade back. That would be a great. That's honestly, I was thinking, why not the Lions get him at like 7 or something like that. Pretty big fan of that if they're able to acquire all those picks. So I don't like that trade from the Niners perspective, but hell, if that's an actual offer in the NFL draft and the Lions take it and get this from the trade, like that's a home run hit. I would honestly start thinking of getting Rashawn Slater there though. That's where I would be like, okay, maybe we can just take Rashawn Slater. Mike Parsons is a beast though. I just don't think he wants to work for an organization that really needs to rebuild. He's more of a guy who like we bring him in and then we're competing for a Super Bowl right now. Next with the Chargers, game Rashawn Slater, big fan of it. I still think that you need to get a guy like Darsaw. I just don't know if Rashawn Slater uses his length properly. Again, that could be coached. But now they don't have a center, right guard, or left tackle. Don't really get that at all. But you know what? He could fit all of those roles. So I guess that wouldn't be a horrible solution for the Chargers. Again, free agency is going to show us a lot of what's going to happen in these organizations, especially the teams that have more salary cap room. Titans getting Azeez. They're trading up for Azeez. Not really a huge fan of that. I like Ojulari, but I don't know if I like him that much. I don't know if I like losing a second round pick out of it. It's not a big fan. With the Patriots going Mac Jones, again, they just brought back Cam Newton. So I honestly think that they're trying to cater to a new offense. If this is what they're going to be doing, I think they go a guy like, I mean, you could even see a Rondell Moore here. I'm not a big fan of that. But I think that you can see a guy like Rashad Bateman being the guy here. I think that they're going to be going offensive weapon. I know that they can groom a quarterback, but Mac Jones is not a guy you're going to look to groom. I'm a little bit curious on that one. I honestly think they can go Kellen Mond in round 3 if they really want to. I mean, if they go round 2 with Kellen Mond, they better trade back for him. But I really think they should go offensive weapon right there. Next, we got the Cardinals going AVT. I guess they can use an offensive line, but JC Horn's on the board, ASJ is on the board, Greg Newsome's on the board. There's a lot of players who probably fit the big corner hole that you need. But I mean, it's not a horrible pick. It's not like they took a tackle because I know they do need some help on the interior. But next, we got the Kwity Paye to the Raiders. So I just watched his game versus Minnesota because I'm doing a report on him right now. And he looked damn good, right? He looked amazing. I don't know if I have it. Yeah, I have it right over here. So right now doing a scouting report on him. But I mean, he is amazing work ethic. I did just see, unfortunately, his best game. So I was like, wow, I hope to God it's not his best game, but it is. I haven't seen any other games so far. Just, I'm right now doing the scouting process, but Kwity Paye so far has shown flashes of being an excellent pass rusher. Really good at using his length. I'm pretty sure that Kwity Paye, if he has the right coaching, could be a real star in this league. I think it's better than Azeez Ojulari. Next, it's a different type of scheme as well. He goes 4 hands in the dirt. I mean, not 4 hands. He goes to a 4-point stance versus Azeez, who's much more of like a 3-4 outside linebacker. Next, with the Dolphins going Zaven. I mean, you guys know me. I always take that pick. Washington going Darsaw here. Again, I honestly think that Darsaw probably could have been the pick here for the Dolphins. I know they need to go with a linebacker for help, and Zaven's a beast. I think again, when you get guys like Van Ginkel in like the 5th, and they just act out and they do a really good job. Like the Patriots do a good job getting 2nd, 3rd, 4th round linebackers to do 1st round quality work. Darsaw would be the best pick there, even though I love Zaven. Next with Washington, they're going Darsaw, and we're not going to talk about that. They're just arrogance is just so stupid. The Bears trade back. Would not mind this at all, especially if Darsaw goes here. Again, Rashad Bateman's on the board. You take Rashad Bateman any day. Take Kadarius Toney if you want to. If Bateman goes to the Steelers, not the Steelers. Oh my God, the Patriots, the one rival of the Steelers, getting anywhere in the playoffs, damn near. But Jets trading up for JC Horn. Wouldn't mind that pick, honestly. That's a good use of your extra draft capital. Big fan of that. I know that they need some offensive line help. They could use a weapon, but what you trade up and you get a 5th round in return too. You swap your 5th, so you have to give up a little bit more value in the 5th, but you pretty much just lose a 4th and a little bit of value in the 5th. It's a good deal. That's a really good deal for the Bears. Honestly, you guys have a lot of holes, so getting these 2 picks here swapping that pick, adding an extra pick wouldn't be bad, especially in the 4th. I know they have at least 1 or 2 compensatory picks, but we got to pick this up. Rousseau to the Colts, disgusting. I mean, I love love Rousseau as a prospect, but you just have, I mean, your entire offensive line just can't crumble because you have a sucky left tackle. The Vikings getting Cosme, or Cosme. I'd be fine with that. That's perfectly fine. I wouldn't mind that at all. Bears going Mayfield here. Again, they could use him as a guard. They could use him as a tackle on either side. Wouldn't mind that too much. Steelers getting Tevin Jenkins. Again, honestly, ever since I did my report on Creed Humphrey, pretty damn fine with this pick. The Steelers want to get to heavy pounding football again. Tevin Jenkins is a great fit for that. Especially with an immobile quarterback like Ben. It just depends on the Steelers draft philosophy, but they look like they want to have more of a steady passer. Jaguars getting Christian Barmore, not a fan. Not a fan. You know, you got to have much bigger issues in this interior defensive line class. Honestly, it's pretty deep. If you get Ozo Odigizua in the second or even the third round, you know, I think that's equivalent value for the pick. Browns getting JOK, pretty damn solid as well. I was gonna do a MJD mock, but really couldn't find it online, and that's probably just because I didn't look for it today. But I looked for it last night, just couldn't find it. So keep your eyes out for me doing a mock on that one, because Maurice Jones-Drew is definitely not a draft analyst, so I'm very excited to see what he does. Ravens getting Bateman, that would be a dream, wouldn't it? That'd be a great pick. I love that. Saints getting Merrick. Don't know why though. They did just kind of bring back Marcus Williams. I don't know, because this wasn't that long ago. This was yesterday. Pretty sure this was yesterday. This was March 11th. What's the date today? We got the 13th. Okay, it's 2 days ago, but that was definitely after the franchise tags. So I don't really get that. So that's a little concerning to me. We also got we're gonna fly through these. Packers getting Newsome, perfectly fine with that pick. Bills, Najee Harris. I mean, I guess they're at least not giving ETN, who's just a better version of what they got. But it's not bad. They don't really have too many needs. I would go Eric Stokes there because he ran a 4.24/4.26 unofficial, just because they need to definitely get his cornerback too. Eichenberg to the Chiefs. That's an excellent pick. Excellent pick. Honestly, I'd much rather have Eichenberg to the Steelers than Tevin Jenkins. But Chiefs, you need help. You need help. Buccaneers getting Jalen Phillips as well. Not a fan of that, to be honest. There are 3-4 outside linebackers who would fit that role a lot better, in my opinion. Even though I love the talent of Jalen Phillips. People are trying to say that he was forced to retire because of concussions. That's a bad sign. If medical staff at one of the best medical schools in the country are telling you to quit football, that's something you definitely should take into account. Jags getting Aaron Robinson. I guess you need a slot corner, but I honestly would have went ASJ right there to get another boundary corner. But I mean, again, not a bad pick by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't think slot corners will garner that type of consideration. Jets getting Jason Owe. It's a big project. If anybody's gonna make it work, I think that it would either be on the Browns or the Jets, just because Robert Saleh is good. And then, I mean, I talk about developing a raw prospect. You got an amazing mentor in Cleveland, of course, in the man, the myth, the legend, Myles Garrett. But you know, whatever. Falcons getting ETN wouldn't be a bad option at all. Wouldn't mind that. Really wouldn't mind that. Dolphins getting Perkins. Man, I mean, you just got a linebacker and now you're getting another edge player. That doesn't sit well with me, especially with running backs on the board. Like, running backs. They got Javonte Williams there anyways, but I still would have taken Javonte Williams there. Eagles getting Eric Stokes. It's a great pick, especially if they're starting to run that Colts zone scheme. That'd be a wonderful pick. Bengals getting Leatherwood. Don't like him. If you want to kick him to guard, be my guest. Honestly, I'd be fully in support of that if that were the case. Dolphins getting Javonte Williams. It's great. If they flip the picks, I'd be much more supportive of it. But I think honestly, they could go center here in because I know Ted Karras, I believe he's actually up for a contract. So if you get Landon Dickerson here at 36 or Landon Dickerson here at 39 and then get Javonte right there, that would probably be my ideal situation. Broncos getting Nick Bolton. That's great. Lions Tony. I mean, if you want to get a gadget weapon for Jared Goff, that'd be a great option for him. Good guy to check down to, especially when your line isn't the greatest. Again, there are some good tackles on the board still. Giants getting Osai. That'd be a dream. So cheers to you guys. Niners getting Campbell. Again, you guys do run a cover 3 zone. So I don't know if you really want to get Tyson, but Tyson, he's worth that pick. Your scheme definitely isn't very cornerback dependent in the idea that, I mean, you guys can put mediocre corners there and then have some very big effects. But I personally would probably pick Tyson Campbell if I were there too. Cowboys getting Richie Grant. He's, to me, the best, second best safety in the class. So I wouldn't mind it. That's really good speed as well to help out with those with the cornerback lack of speed. So I'm pretty big fan of that. Javon Holland to the Jaguars. You guys did just get a slot corner, and Javon Holland played the majority of his snaps at slot corner. So honestly, if you went ASJ at that pick and then went Javon Holland here, that would just be a dream. But he can play safety. That's fine. Pat's getting Pat Freiermuth. That's pretty good value. Again, I would honestly think about Pat Freiermuth even over Javon Holland there for the Jaguars because their best guys Isaiah Oliver or Josh Oliver, not Isaiah Oliver, Josh Oliver and Chargers getting White Davis. Just put out my report on him. He's definitely not pro ready. He's super raw. He needs to sit, but it is kind of too good value to pass up. I put a second round grade on him just because there was some big head scratching plays, but he has just shown some flashes on tape that look amazing. It's not like a Creed Humphrey situation that it looks kind of like kind of irreplaceable or like unfixable. That's the word I was looking for. So that's he has some potential there, some really big potential. Raiders getting Levi Onwuzurike, perfectly fine with that idea. I think that, again, there might be some better IDLs on the board, but that's totally dependent on the teams, and I haven't done enough scouting myself in the IDL department. If Ifeatu Melifonwu to the Cardinals, stupid-ass pick. He's not athletic at all, and, well, I mean, not to be rude to him, he needs to fit his own scheme. He's not going to be good one-on-one versus speedier wide receivers. He's going to be torched. That's just the bottom line. And the safeties for the Cardinals, Budda Baker's solid, but, I don't trust in Thompson to be a really good guy over the top, and there's some better corners on the board, in my opinion, still. There's still ASJ on the board, I believe. So that's I'm pretty sure he is. That might be, yeah, he is. He's definitely on the board still. So really don't understand that. Oh, yeah, but that's why the freaking Dolphins had another pick. They got their second round from the Panthers. That makes so much more sense. I'm like, wow, that was really close. I'm surprised why I haven't just gone something and then went Javonte Williams. But here is Landon Dickerson. So there you go. There you go. I guess they really did what I wanted to with the Dolphins. That's a great pick. Washington getting Terrace Marshall. It's kind of just like a best player available-ish. Really, I'm just not a fan of Terrace Marshall. On Bears getting Amon-Ra, that's not bad, especially with Anthony Miller potentially going in the next year. That's a pretty good pick, especially for the long run. Not in the short run, because I think you need to get a better boundary wide receiver, but if you guys are preparing to leave Anthony Miller, that's a great option right there. Again, he can play slot or boundary. I know that we got the guy from Tulane. Vikings getting Davion Nixon. It seems like a Vikings guy, so I wouldn't mind it too much. You got to get some edge pressure, though. So I would be looking at a guy like even Joe Tryon there. I know you guys run a 4-3, but that's still an option for me. Colts getting Raduns. That's great. That's excellent value. Makes your first-round pick look much better in comparison. That's why I like seeing these 2 to 3 round mocks. You just see what's up. Steelers getting Creed Humphrey. Again, I put him as a 6th-round grade as a center. More like a 3rd or like maybe a late 2nd as a guard, but not a fan of it. Even though the Steelers need it, I'd rather go Jimmy Morrissey there out of Pitt. Gonna be honest. Just not a fan of Creed Humphrey at all. Especially since he just cannot process. To put it lightly, his motor is a huge concern. His processor, huge concern. 2 things that are critical for a center, especially when Ben doesn't actually study tape. Not a fan of Creed at all. Trey Smith to the Seahawks, big fan of that. That's something you need. I think Trey Turner would be a great option for the Seahawks to sign. That'd just be huge. I know he plays right guard, but just kick him to left guard, man. It's not as easy as it sounds, but, I mean, if you get Trey Smith here, that's wonderful. Just the idea. Rams getting Joe Tryon. I mean, you guys, I'm pretty sure run a 4-3, but you guys might run a 3-4. I'm not sure. He could definitely replace that Leonard Floyd role pretty well. Again, super high ceiling guy that could definitely have big impact. Ravens game Boogie. I don't know. I guess he could fit. He could fit anything. If you run a 4-3, I think he could play a defensive end there or in a 3-4. He's a good player. He's a really good player. Browns getting ASJ. I don't think they need another boundary. We really don't. Their boundaries guys are not their problem. So a little bit of oversight right there, just filling in what the needs sheet says. Rondale Moore here for the Saints is a great option. Honestly, that's a great option. Bills getting Baron Browning. I don't think they need another linebacker ever since they brought back a 4-year deal on Matt Milano, but I guess the rich get richer, right? Packers getting Aleem McNeil. Oh, yeah. Also, there probably is, I mean, you could even go Paulson Adebo there if you want, but there's Keith Taylor on the board who would be an excellent boundary corner for you guys. Aleem McNeil for the Packers. I honestly think you should probably go a weapon there. There's still Tylan Wallace on the board, and there's definitely better depth where you can get a Liam probably later even. Chiefs getting Elijah Moore, that's a stupid ass pick. And Jamin Davis, honestly, I wouldn't be pissed if Jamin Davis was a first round pick for the Bucks. But yeah, this is just a god awful pick. I'm a fan of Elijah Moore too. That's a funny thing. I have a second round grade on him, but it's like, dude, this is not what you need. You just lost. You're possibly losing your center too. So the only things that you have certain right now are your guard spots, and one of them hasn't played in a year, and the other one is, I mean, he was just a free agent, so it's very questionable. Third round, we're gonna steam right through this, guys. Brevin Jordan to the Jags, have him as a top 20 player. Now it makes everything look amazing. Again, I love to see the development of this draft. Jets getting De'Ami Brown. That's a good weapon. That's a really good weapon. Big fan of that. Texans, Deontay Brown. That's fine. I sometimes do that pick as well. Falcons game Patrick Jones. I think you're running a 3-4, so I guess you can use him as a 3-4 defensive end, but not a big fan. Jackson Carman here is. I was trying to remember. Did JOK even go? Yeah, he definitely went. He went to the Browns in the first. Again, I'd probably go. If you want to do that, I'd probably actually rather go Rashad Weaver than Patrick Jones on the interior. Just a thought of mine. Bengals getting Jackson Carman. Pretty solid pick. He's going back to Cincinnati. Not going to be pissed off at that too much. He's definitely a really young prospect too. Jabril Cox to the Eagles. Good fit. The Eagles are having a pretty good draft, especially if you got Kyle Pitts there. If you swap the Kyle Pitts and Devontae Smith picks, I mean, that'd be similar to what I would do. This would be the best draft, arguably, for the Eagles. Broncos game Hamilcar Rashed. I don't know anything about Hamilcar, so I honestly am probably going to do a report on him because I just really want to know more about him. J2FLA for the Lions. Sure. I mean, you got to fix every hole, and J2FLA is good value there. Kelvin Joseph to the Panthers. I feel like it's going to be a pick. I feel like that's a lock, but I think the hype is a little too much on Kelvin. Again, he's super young prospect, so not bad. Washington getting Sean Wade, big fan of that. You know, I know you guys run a lot of zone, and he's much better as a man corner, but if you keep him in the slot, he's going to work wonders. I honestly have him as one of my sleepers of the draft because people forget he was like a top 10 pick as a slot corner. He just kind of got an ego and thought he could play boundary. Don't really get the reason why people just don't remember that. It should push him down draft boards, but probably to the second. Cowboys getting Marvin Wilson. It's fine. I think there's better edges on the board, but it's fine. Giants getting a Debo. You guys do run like a man zone hybrid. So why are you getting a slow guy in a Debo when you have some pretty good athletes there when you can get a guy like Keith Taylor Jr.? Chargers getting Molden. You know me, I love Molden. I have him in the first, but I don't actually take him in the first. I just love, he's one of my favorite players in the draft. But Elijah Molden, if we're going to be honest, this is a team full of, there's already a slot corner role filled, but again, wouldn't mind it. Wouldn't mind it at all, especially given the value. It's amazing. Andre Cisco to the Vikings. You know, it's going to be hard to keep Harris there. I think his name's Anthony Harris. It's going to be hard to keep him there. So Andre Cisco wouldn't be a bad rangy safety there. Syracuse had a really good secondary. So Cardinals getting Michael Carter, fine with it. You know, he's an elite zone runner, so that's going to be perfect for the scheme. Raiders getting Josh Myers. I don't know why you're getting the replacement, the heir to, what's his name? Oh my God, why am I forgetting his name? Hudson. But if you do kick him to guard and allow him to learn from Hudson, that might be a really good developmental project right there. Josh Myers is about the same level to me as Wyatt Davis, but less potential. So I think this is good value for him. Dolphins getting Dwayne Eskridge. I mean, they're ready to compete now. You guys know me. I'm a big fan of that. So honestly, he's kind of hitting it for the Dolphins. The Dolphins are a great team. I love the Dolphins. Washington getting Amari Rodgers. Interesting. I'm a fan of him with the ball in his hands, but he drops the ball a lot. I think people are kind of underrating that. But he is a really good athlete, so I'm not going to be too pissy about it. Amari Rodgers came back from an ACL tear and lit it up. Bears getting Kyle Trask. I'm a huge fan of that, actually. That's a fun thing. I'm actually a big fan of that. What I'm surprised is there's no trades in the later rounds. That's what kind of irritates me. But Eagles getting Hunter Long. I wouldn't mind that. My guy Mason is doing a scouting report on him right as we're speaking, and he said it's a high floor, low ceiling prospect. So kind of exactly what you need for the Eagles, especially when there's so much turmoil going on. Just get somebody to fill in if you get rid of Ertz. Titans getting Togi. You guys got to get IDL, so I think you guys might want to go corner there. Again, Keith Taylor on the board, but big fan of that. Jets getting Kenny Gainwell. That's fair. That's a pretty good pick. I always go ETN for them, but that's fair. Peyton Turner to the Steelers, not a fan. Not a fan at all. I think if the Steelers really want to get edge help, you go for a guy like Rashad Weaver, who is a hometown boy. Lions getting Keith Taylor. Again, I think there should be a slot corner here for the Lions, but I'm a big fan of Keith Taylor. So regardless of scheme two. Browns getting Dylan Moses. That's a big fall in the draft. Honestly, I'd be a huge fan if that happened, but it's not going to. Vikings getting Jordan Smith. That's a good pick. It's a really good pick. Jordan Smith's a really good player. Browns getting the guy out of Notre Dame. I don't know too much about him, but hasn't wowed me at all from what I've heard. Packers getting Hudson. That's a great pickup too. Honestly, Hudson's a left tackle though, so I don't know why you're probably gonna have to kick him to right, but I'm not a huge fan of kicking tackles like from one side to the other just because it's a different drop back and everything. But James Hudson didn't look too good in the Senior Bowl, so maybe it is okay to kick him. It's okay to take a chance on that. So honestly, not a fan. I mean, I'm kind of a fan of that pick. The more I think about it, Bills getting Trill Williams. That's a good pick. It's a really good pick. But I think the needs are bigger on the other rounds that we could have gotten better players. Chiefs getting Aaron Banks. I mean, I don't know why you haven't gone line earlier. You guys could have gotten a slot wide receiver in like Jalen Darden, Daz Newsome here, and then gotten a better interior offensive lineman there. Marlon Tuipulotu. Wow, I actually said that right. Wow, I'm very surprised. I was trying to butcher the name and I said it right. He's a beast. So I mean that's a good depth pick right there, especially if honestly I'd rather go Shelvin there to replace Ndamukong Suh, but wouldn't mind it too much. Patriots getting Talon Wallace. That's a steal. That's a great steal. Chargers getting Roche. It's a good pick too. Good picks all around. Benjamin St. Juste to the Saints. Pretty solid. Nothing to write home about. Cowboys getting Deontay Smith. I mean, he's a guy who has tackle and guard versatility. I think he's better as a guard. So it's good depth. Definitely good depth. And it has good versatility. It's solid for the pick. Titans getting Frank Darby out of Arizona State. He's all right. He's not bad at all, but I don't know. Spencer Brown to the Rams. You guys know me. I love that pick. Niners getting Osa Digizua. Do you guys need another interior defensive lineman? I mean, I'd be perfect with that pick, though. Rams getting Chaz Surratt. That's great. Great freaking value. Unbelievable value. Ben Cleveland to the Ravens. Good pick, too. Really good pick. Georgia likes to run the ball and run the ball well. Perfect pick for the Ravens. And then McGrone to the Saints. I think they should probably address that a little bit earlier, but still got quality player for the pick. So, Jordan, honestly, not too many asinine picks. Wouldn't mind it too much. The trades were a little bit, but honestly, this is one of the best ones I've seen by TDN so far, especially if you take out the Washington football team picks. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the far side. Peace.